Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us here. I'd like to introduce some of our speakers here today who will talk about the $1.5 million highway safety project that will be taking place along Township Line that will reduce speed and save lives and make this a safer travel to and from work and to and from school. I'm joined by Representative Jamie Santora, who has been out front since the two tragic accidents that occurred previous in this year. Also, Mayor Tom McCosey from Upper Darby Police Superintendent Mike Chitwood, and Haverford Police Chief John Viola. So to get this moving along, I'm going to turn it over to Representative Jamie Santora, who has been leading the charge to get this done, working with the PennDOT and the governor's office to make this project come together. Jamie?
Thanks. Thank you, Senator. Again, I'd also like to thank everyone for being here. This is an extremely important project to this area. And the reason I say that is we have had over 1,000 car accidents on the stretch of the Township Line corridor from State Road to Westchester Pike in the last 3 years. That's 1,000 car accidents, and multiples of those accidents have been fatal. 2 in one day just this fall. 2 lives taken in one day. One was a 28-year-old young man, had the rest of his life in front of him, and unfortunately was tragically killed on a motorcycle. The other was a gentleman who lives in Havertown. His family is at a complete loss 2 blocks from his house on Township Line. These things cannot happen. So I'm going to give you a little description of the project and what's going to take place. And I'm going to give some praise to our governor. He stepped right up with us when we were working with him and called and had a discussion about the day after the 2 fatalities in the single day. We had a deep discussion about the project, and his office immediately got on board. He assigned a PennDOT liaison, and within weeks we have the funding to do this $1.5 million safety project along this corridor. So what we're going to do is we're going to have lanes reduced in size. These are all traffic calming things that are going to take place. So we're going to have reduced size lanes. We are going to have larger speed limit signs up and down. The entire corridor will be repaved from State Road to Westchester Pike. We're going to have a center turning lane the entire length of the road, which will prevent rear-end accidents so that people can get in the center and turn on these side streets. Senator McGarrigle and I both have our offices along this corridor, and we see the speed that happens every single day. PennDOT has proven technology and proven theories on how to slow traffic down, and that is what's going to happen here. And we're very pleased with the joint effort between my office, the senator's office, and the governor's office to make this happen. Any questions? So the speed limit on this corridor used to be 45, Kevin, and it was reduced down to 35 already. At this point in time, PennDOT is not prepared to allow it to go any lower until more traffic studies are done. They believe by doing these traffic calming features that it will slow the traffic down. It's been proven on other roads. Back when I was on council, we heard that they were going to do it along Bishop Avenue in over there in Drexel Hill, where it comes into Clifton Heights, and we weren't 100% convinced, but after they did it, we are believers. It works.
And was there a traffic study conducted for this project?
There was not a traffic study done for this project. What PennDOT did was they did this on an expedited cycle because of the urgency from our offices and the governor's office, and they were able to map the entire project, figure out what would work in what areas, and came up with a really nice plan that's going to be implemented. That's the one thing I did forget. This plan will be implemented this spring. This is on a fast track. It's not going to be a 2 to 5 year project. This construction cycle, this project will go in. And that's one of the good things about having Act 89 money available. It allows for projects like this to take place.
And how long will this project take?
We have spoken to both of the townships that are affected by it, both Upper Darby and Haverford. They've both agreed, and I will reconfirm that night work is going to make it happen, which will make it. I would have to guess it's going to be about a 30 to 40 day project overall. So what we did was we sat down in an initial meeting with PennDOT and their engineers and our local police, our engineers, meaning the two townships engineers, our police chiefs and deputy chief over in Haverford, our superintendent here in Upper Darby, our CAO. We had everybody at the table. And what we did was we told them what our concerns are, where we had concerns. They asked for 2 weeks to come back with a plan. We went up to their office in King of Prussia, and we sat down for a second meeting. And what they did was they showed us what works. Some of those things are going to be the electronic speed, so that when you're driving by a speed limit sign, we're going to have 4 of those along the corridor that will register your speed, so you know that you're going the speed limit or above. We are going to have reduced size lanes. We're going to have delineators on the sides of the roads. The speed limit is going to be painted in certain areas right on the road. So these constant reminders and the reduced lanes, the center lanes, all of those are traffic calming devices. We're going to have overhead signage at the traffic lights.
And with these big speed limit signs that actually gauge how fast you're going, police in those areas to, stop these speed limits and stuff like that?
I'll leave that to the chiefs to answer, but these devices are not certified for radar. And one of the things that Senator McGarrigle and I have committed to doing early next session, last time we were both freshmen in the House and in the Senate, and we decided we thought the best effort would be to co-sponsor legislation for radar. This time we are going to be prime sponsors, and we're going to have companion bills in both the House and the Senate, and we're going to make another big push to have our local municipalities be able to use radar. Our municipalities have both stepped up, for example, and said, we don't give us a dime of the money, just put it into a fund that allows us to have the radar, calibrated on a regular basis, have the training, but this is not a cash grab. This is a safety issue. It's in 49 other states. We're the only state in the country that doesn't allow local municipalities to use it. We're willing to draft different types of legislation to try to get the votes across the Commonwealth. If it has to be full-time police departments only. They have to be trained, the MOPEC certified. They've got to be willing to go through calibration, X period, every so many, whatever the requirement is for calibration for the standards to be held up. We're willing to put all of that in our legislation to make sure that we can try to go out and secure those 102 votes in the House, the 26 that we need in the Senate, and then have the governor sign it.
Taking it for anyone else to how will this really help with the safety of the
I'm going to leave that to Chief Viola and Superintendent Chitwood.
Well, right now we do heavy enforcement on Township Line along with Upper Darby. What we're speaking of was the 2 most recent fatals that happened in the past few months. We've had fatals on both sides of Township Line that we've investigated over the years. These traffic calming devices will slow traffic down. It's a proven fact. It works for us. We implement them in certain areas of our Haverford Township, and they do work. So with the redesigning of the road, with the speed signs, the flashing speed signs will tell people if they're speeding or driving too fast. Right now we have a portable one on Township Line up by Drexel that we put there about a month ago. So it does do its job. Just standing here now, you can watch the traffic going past. At the amount of traffic that goes past here, and once you get into these open stretches of the road, they do travel fast. So from our standpoint, the help from our representatives here from the state to allow this project to go forward, because we've been asking for it for years to no avail. So we're thankful from the police department standpoint and from the motoring public standpoint to help with the safety of traveling on this road. So, Mike.
I think it's important to understand and thank Senator McGarrigle and Representative Santora. Without their pushing PennDOT, this project would never happen. So to get $1.5 million, Mayor Mikosi and myself were talking about it. I've never seen anything in my life happen so quickly, so I want to say thank you. To follow up on what Chief Viola said, we need radar. You can put all the traffic calming devices in the world in, we need radar. And the system in the state that does not allow municipal government to have radar is antiquated. Radar can save lives. Radar enforcement is what municipal police departments need. And hopefully, through the efforts of Senator McGarrigle and State Representative Santora, we can get that radar. So we need a combination of both things. Absolutely, it's a great first start, but I've never seen anything happen so quickly, thanks to the efforts of those two, plus both political structures of Upper Darby and Haverford.
So, just to conclude, this evening we're bringing the residents in. We have a safety meeting between the two townships and our state offices, Senator McGarrigle and myself, to go over the plan and get some input from the residents if there is any concerns, to be able to give back to PennDOT. But again, the key here is this is going to be on an expedited track to get these safety provisions right in. Right across the street here, where Arrowhead meets Pilgrim Lane, we had another fatality less than 2 years ago because of speed. And it is a major concern of ours. And again, I want to thank the administration for working with us. I want to thank Senator McGarrigle for helping push this along as well. We are extremely pleased, and it is unprecedented how quick we are able to turn this around. And I think that says a lot for working with the administration in a positive light so that we could get this done.
Commissioner Wexler from Haverford, who worked with my office also, I just want to, on both towns, let Jamie and Senator know. The two freshman senators and representatives, I'm new to the mayor's office. Early on in their administrations, we joined two municipalities. This is the first time that the 163rd crosses over a line in the Haverford Township. The cooperation by working together early on really spearheaded the cooperation between the both municipalities to pick up some of the costs working together. So on both municipalities, I want to thank these two gentlemen. I really appreciate it.